Hi friends, it's Sheila Hall of Peel the Onion Enterprises. And today is day 2 of week 2 of the Black Tent. And this week we're going to be talking about divine flow of love. And basically it's like, how do we create a flow of love to come out of us, to out, and return back in? And one of the ways is we have to make space for it. Space for it in our skin. Because that's where the love is. That's where our heart is. It's inside. So we need to get inside under certain layers. And one thing I thought about was the whole thing about coming into the black tent is to be vulnerable. You find yourself not just to be strong, but you also have to be vulnerable. And vulnerable leads to being transparent. Vulnerable plus transparent equals transformation. So the only way this is going to happen is to start being vulnerable. And it made me think about the word vulnerability. And vulnerability is like the birthplace of innovation, creativity, and change. And it's like a bridge that helps build connections. And that's what made me think about the skin, connective tissue, and why, in a way, it might be hard for us to open up that connective tissue. It might hurt because, you have to cut it and open it. You have to be vulnerable for the cut. You have to be strong to take it, and you have to be vulnerable to let someone actually come in and cut it. So we ask the Lord to open us up, to give us that vulnerability so we can start dealing with the things inside that's blocking us from being creative, innovative, to change, to transform into the person that He envisioned us to be, that He wants us to be. When we get into our season, that connective tissue starts losing its form. It starts losing its shape. We start losing our direction, our thought patterns, our emotional patterns start getting kind of wishy-washy to certain times. So I think it's like 3 reasons why we don't want to become vulnerable. And one of them is fear. It's the fear of being exposed. The fear of hearing the words, "Who told you you were naked?" That happened to me. I stepped out to be vulnerable. And those words came to me by someone else, and they said, "Cover up." That fear of "Who told you you were naked?" That happened. That happened to my space, and I closed up. So the fear of being vulnerable. And the second is the shame and the guilt. I was ashamed. I was ashamed because somebody said that you were naked. And God had to turn that around for me and said, "Who told you you were naked?" Did I say that? No, I stepped out and let myself being vulnerable. And then that shame came over me because of what someone else saw, not from what the Lord saw. And the third reason is beliefs. It's limiting. When someone casts shame on us, it limits our belief. So you have the fear of being exposed, you have the shame or the guilt of being seen naked, and then your beliefs are limited because you're like, I thought that I was being transparent. I thought I was doing, helping others, showing them a part of me that I know God blessed me with. Nothing but devil. Nothing but the devil. When we are in our season, we're going to feel fear that someone's going to find out that we are in that season. It can be kind of embarrassing. You know, we play it off. We sit back and we fan and you know, because of all of the negatives that has been put around that season, and it limits our belief into what the healing can be in that season. So what we have to do, we got to be healed. We got to be healed. We got to be healed. And to be healed, we have to figure out that connection. That connection, that skin that we're in. We have to be available. Be available to see what's inside. To have an open mind, to be like excited about this season that's like happening. Because let me tell you, tomorrow I'm going to share with you my thoughts about this season. And when I really thought about it and I, prayed to the Lord about it, it's like whoa. It just changed my whole way of thinking. It changed my whole way of thinking. I can't wait to share it with you tomorrow. So make sure you join me tomorrow for episode 3 of The Black Tent.